Welcome back to Western New York Living. I'm just going to be honest here when I say that none of us plan for an accident, but especially this time of year, they can happen when you are out driving around. Well, this morning we're going to help you out, and you can plan just a bit if you are unfortunate enough to be involved in an accident with specifically a snowplow. Here to answer your questions you might have is Greg Pajak from the Cellino Law firm. Greg, thank you so much for being here.
It's great to be here.
Now, tell me a little bit about this. What happens if someone is in a car accident with a snowplow?
Sure, and unfortunately, a lot of injuries can happen in such accidents because they're big vehicles by definition. But the distinction that you have to figure out from the beginning, is it a regular snowplow owned by a private company or business, or is it a municipal snowplow, meaning it's owned by a city, county, state, or village?
Okay, and that's not something that people are thinking about, I think. What is the difference and why does that matter?
The difference is critical because a private snowplow company, they are judged by the ordinary standard of negligence, which means just like any other car on the road, they can't run red lights, they can't pass improperly, they have to stop at stop signs. Municipal snowplows are judged by a completely different legal standard called reckless disregard, and that is a very, very, very high legal standard, a lot higher than simple negligence.
Okay, so the legal analysis is the same, or does it differ for both?
It's hugely different.
Okay.
With a regular snowplow, like in a Target parking lot or a Plaza parking lot or a condo development, if they run a stop sign and hurt somebody, they're responsible because you can't run stop signs. A municipal snowplow, reckless disregard is such a high standard, they almost have to engage in conduct that is intentionally harmful to somebody else. Otherwise, they really can do whatever they want.
Okay, I'm glad we're having this conversation today. Now, what is the difference between regular negligence and reckless disregard?
Well, we've all heard of the rules of the road. The rules of the road are what you and I have to follow when we're driving our vehicles. That's what private snowplows have to follow. Municipal snowplows don't have to follow the rules of the road. So if there's a red light, they can go through it. If there's a stop sign, they can go through it. They can speed. They can do all kinds of things that you and I would get a ticket for and would be at fault for an accident, but they can do it anyway.
I didn't realize that. Now, is it possible to win a case with the reckless disregard standard?
Rarely.
Okay.
Because that standard is so high that, again, the conduct and the behavior of that driver has to reach such an egregious, awful level that it's really intentional. For example, perhaps you had a municipal snowplow driver, I hope this never happens, that's actually intoxicated or on drugs and speeding and running like red lights like crazy. That may rise to that level, but obviously that's the exception.
So if someone is watching today and we're giving this great advice that maybe they weren't thinking about, what would you like to say to them?
My advice is to contact an attorney because it is a complicated legal issue, the type of snowplows, the type of snowplow companies, and you really need to speak to a lawyer to get the right answers about what you should do if you're in such an accident.
Well, this is the perfect time of year to be having this conversation. Thank you so much for being here, Greg.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
The personal injury attorney at Cellino Law represents injury victims throughout the state of New York. If you've been involved in any type of personal injury, Cellino Law can help. Their offices are located at 800 Delaware Avenue in Buffalo. And for more information, give them a call at 888-888-8888.